morning and welcome to this first ever edition of the Sundance Dailies. My name is Tabitha Jackson and I will be your host of this morning show. I've never hosted a morning show before, so bear with me. But I've never been the director of a festival either, so this year is truly a year of firsts. Thank you for being here and welcome especially to those of you for whom it is your first Sundance Film Festival. You Sundance virgins, thank you for popping your cherry in this historic year where we've had to reimagine the whole thing. So we'll be giving you what is hot in the festival every day. And let's start with today. Actually, I am going to be having breakfast with none other than Sparks, whose documentary, The Sparks Brothers, directed by Edgar Wright, will be premiering tomorrow. So meet them here first. I'm looking forward to getting stuck in. Speaking of getting stuck in, we have our director emeritus, John Cooper, otherwise known as Miss Emeritus, acting as a special correspondent in Park City, and every day this week he will be getting into some kind of mischief in our festival home. So let's go to him now. John Cooper, the weather. Hello.
This is John Cooper reporting from Park City, Utah. The weather is cold. Back to you, Tabitha.
Thank you, Cooper, for your meteorological exactitude. But sincerely, thank you for freezing your arse off so I don't have to. Right, let's get into the show. And I am delighted to welcome our very own Director of Programming, Kim Utani. Kim, are you there?
I'm here, Tabitha. How are you? And happy first festival to you as Festival Director. You're looking very Alistair Cook Masterpiece Theatre there. Do you even know that reference?
I do know the reference to Alistair Cook. I love it, and thank you for the elegant British comparison. The first festival is so far going incredibly well, and it's so great to see you. I wish we were together, but just give us a sense. I mean, we have been thinking about this festival for the last 10 months. From your perspective as Director of Programming, like, what did it take to get us here?
Yeah, it's been a wild 10 months, and a wild 10 months on Zoom, I have to say. But I think it's been a matter of coming up with a plan that we thought was amazing, then having to adjust it, and just avoiding so many obstacles. But I'm so proud of the work that we have done as a programming team. I think that we have a great festival that we've created. The films are amazing, and we're here and we're doing it, and that is really exciting and gratifying at this point.
It really is, and last night was opening night. That was a good selection of films, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was. It's incredible to be able to world premiere films like Coda and Summer of Soul in the same breath. Flea, One for the Road, and Censor. I mean, those are 6 amazing films, and we have designed this festival so that each day really pops and is a highlight of its own. So there's more where that came from.
Speaking of which, what is coming up today? If you, as Director of Programming, could just give us a couple of highlights, what should people try to catch if they can?
Yeah, I have to point people to Cinema Cafe, which is coming up right after our segment. This is a conversation between Questlove and Shaka King. Questlove goes behind the camera for the first time, and is the director of Summer of Soul. And what an amazing debut. I know that you also really love this film. And he's going to be talking to Shaka King, who is actually, I've known Shaka for a while. He made the film Newlyweds, which was, I think that was my first year programming features, and we've shown a couple of his shorts over the years. And what a huge leap this is for him to make a film like Judas and the Black Messiah. So super excited to be premiering that one.
That's a great conversation. I think Questlove's amazing in what he managed to pull off, and Shaka too. So I can't wait to see what they have to say to each other. So that's a wonderful talk. All our talks and events are free to anybody around the world to participate in Sundance Film Festival. Just log on to the platform and it's yours. But what about the films? What should we be catching today?
I always like to push people towards the international films. As programmers, we do a lot of work internationally, a lot of outreach, and I always feel like this is the moment for that work to really pay off, because we have curated a really incredible selection of world docs and world dramatic films. I guess I would have to single out the film Lutzu, which is a film from Malta. I think the very first film we've shown that's been made in Malta. So that's exciting. And I also want to do a special shout out for Playing with Sharks. As I revealed to all of you, I love sharks, and this is a documentary about Valerie Taylor, who, if you don't know who she is, this film is a great adventure and a really beautiful portrait of the work Valerie has done. So very, very excited about that one.
And as we keep saying, if you love sharks, you're going to love this film. I have one last question for you, Kim, before you get back to the coal face of our festival. Someone's got to be in charge. There is a tradition, legendary among festival goers, which is Kim Utani's hot tub party. How are you going to be doing that this year?
Well, it's on hiatus for this year, unfortunately. Instead, I will be hanging out with my cats, Andrew and Mountbatten. They will be enjoying the festival firsthand. The very exclusive Kim Utani's hot tub party will be back in 2022. That is a promise.
You heard it here first, audiences. Look out for it. Kim, thanks for joining us. Go and look after that festival. We need to go to Park City to find out where John Cooper, Director Emeritus, Special Correspondent, where are you? What are you up to, John Cooper?
Hello, Tabitha. You know where I am. Main Street, Park City, Utah, home of the Sundance Film Festival. I know things aren't quite the same, but it's amazing what you've done to keep this festival the same vital festival it always is. I commend you, I commend the staff. Sundance.org, rock on. Hello? I'm here, let me in. Don't you know who I am? I hope they do. The Egyptian Theater, this is where it starts every year, the kickoff of the Sundance Film Festival. Back in the day, this was it. All the groundbreaking films played here. It was Sex, Lies, and Videotape. The Coen brothers were here with Blood Simple, Hudsucker Proxy, the original Saw, Slacker, Todd Haynes' cult classic, The Karen Carpenter Story. Blair Witch premiered here, on and on. And then all the tributes we did over the years. Julianne Moore, Denzel Washington, Benicio del Toro, and Holly Hunter. And one of my personal favorite moments was interviewing RuPaul on this stage. And RuPaul turned the tables on me, and he said, I'm going to ask you a few questions. And he said, have you ever been in drag? And I had to say, well, yes, I have. And he said, what was your drag name? And I said, Hell and Back, like she looked like she'd been to hell and back. All this to say that Sundance lives in our memories, mine and yours, the past and the future. I can't wait to come back here next year. This building will be here to welcome you back next year. It's like I can hear this building singing. Congratulations to all the filmmakers this year. Now I can walk down Main Street, which is a lot easier than walking up.
Oh, Cooper, it's so great to see you there on our beloved Main Street. And I can't believe they wouldn't let you into the Egyptian. Actually, I can believe that. So now let's move to our first edition of this segment, which I'm very excited about. And the segment is called Breakfast with ... And I'm going to be drinking my cup of tea and eating a scone or a scone as we enter the kitchens of many amazing people during the course of this week. To start it off, imagine the privilege. We are going to the kitchens of those brothers, Ron and Russell Mae, otherwise known as Sparks. Ron and Russell, it's so nice to be with you. I can see that, Russell, you are in a kitchen.
To start off my breakfast, you need to have your tea with your Sparks Kimono My House mug, and then cook your toast in your Hello Kitty toasters. That's my breakfast.
A beautifully accessorized breakfast. So then, Ron, what are you doing? You starving?
My breakfast consists of this exotic beverage, Diet Mountain Dew. It contains all the necessary nutrients that you need in the morning. Let's dig in, shall we?
It looks so delicious.
I'm ready for the day.
So tell me how you came across the rascal Edgar Howard Wright.
Edgar had come to a few of our shows, the more recent shows that we've done in Los Angeles, and Edgar met us after the show and just said, I've been thinking for a long time about doing a documentary about Sparks. What do you think? And he also convinced us that it would be a documentary and done in a way that he thought was well in keeping with the spirit of what the band is.
We went out to dinner with him just by coincidence. Both Russell and I were wearing black turtlenecks, and so the every one of the interviewees in the documentary was assigned to wear a black turtleneck.
Also, I'm worried, Russell, about your toast. Surely that must be done now. I don't want it to burn. Breakfast is the best.
It's like a brick now.
Fantastic. And do feel free to take another slice of Mountain Dew, Ron. Edgar Wright's film, The Sparks Brothers, premieres tomorrow. And I'm going to move now to a quick fire round of questions. Ron, cats or dogs?
Neither, actually. I'm a people person, can't you tell?
Russell, books or films?
Films.
Your favorite album title of your own, first of all, Russell?
A woofer in tweeter's clothing.
Ron?
New music for amnesiacs.
So I would like to know, what is the strangest thing that a fan has ever given to you?
Herpes.
I think that's the end of story.
And I am just being told in my ear that someone is about to join us who can help us round out this conversation. So let's, whoa, look at that.
Hey!
Don't sneak up on us
Edgar
like that.
Howard Wright.
You did my full name.
Rolls off the tongue, Edgar Howard Wright. There's a gravity and an import about it.
I reassess your film output now, knowing your middle name is Howard.
It sounds fancier with my middle name.
Edgar, just tell us, what did you take away from the process? What did you learn about them? And then, actually, Ron and Russell, I'd love to know what you learned about yourselves through seeing Edgar's film.
I think one of the reasons I wanted to make the film is because I not only wanted to sort of celebrate Ron and Russell. You know, Ron and Russell had been a bit of an enigmatic riddle to me as I was growing up. I had questions myself. I had things that I just growing up, like sort of, kind of loving the band, but not quite understanding how it was all possible. There are lots of things, as you see in the documentary, where Sparks as a band trajectory is kind of the anomaly in terms of the usual rise and fall of a band. Like sort of being in a band and doing it so intensively for any amount of time is is a real like sort of Herculean effort. But to sort of do what Ron and Russell have done and make it so kind of challenging and inventive for so long, I think is just like pretty much unheard of in the business. It's extraordinary. So that's why I wanted to tell the story. And came away even more admiring of them than I was before.
We became more admiring of ourselves after seeing the film.
We're sold. We're just really humbled by the whole experience.
But it's a piece of art in itself. Just how did you go into it creatively? What were you thinking when you were imagining what it might be?
It's funny, there's something that Ron, you say in the movie about Jean-Luc Godard, where you say that Jean-Luc Godard is a director who manages to make movies, but also sort of like be commenting on making movies at the same time. And I felt that was the way to do the documentary as well, is you're making a totally sincere music documentary that's made with a lot of love. And then there's little bits where you're kind of making fun of that process as well. So that was really fun for me, is to kind of like do something that was utterly sincere and also kind of like pricking the balloon at the same time.
So I'm going to ask you some quick fire questions. Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Question number 2, books or films?
Well, I'm going to have to go for film. Sorry, books.
The movie that made you love movies?
Oh, there's several of them, but let's say An American Werewolf in London.
Yes, let's say that one. Your favorite Sparks album title?
I mean, I like introducing Sparks as a funny album title because it was their 8th album. I find that very, very silly indeed.
Thank you so much. My favorite film title may now be The Sparks Brothers. It's premiering tomorrow at this Sundance Film Festival. Russell, Ron, Edgar, thank you so much for letting us have breakfast with you on the first day of the Sundance Dailies. It was a treat. I'm amazed that you're still alive, given what you have for breakfast every day. I'm very thankful.
Yeah.
You guys
Cheers
tomorrow.
to you.
Cheers. Cheers. In this part of the dailies, I want us to reconnect with nature for a moment of Utah bliss. So let's all take a restorative deep breath. That was lovely. Okay, so we are ready to go into our day, but before I let you go, I just wanted to share a thought, partly inspired by our very own New Frontier platform, which is built up in space next to the International Space Station, giving us the view looking down on Earth. And if you haven't checked it out, you really should, because it's going to blow your mind. But that thing about seeing made me think of April 2019, when for the first time in history, as a species, we were able to see something we'd never been able to see before. And that thing was a black hole. So scientists, through an incredible international collaboration, built a telescope literally the size of the planet. They worked with existing telescopes around the world, each from their own unique perspectives, and then brought that imagery together from all those individual telescopes. And what they came to see was the black hole. And it made me think of this festival because we are gathered from our individual perspectives. We are gathered together and we are looking and we are seeing and we are watching. And it just occurred to me that what is so special, what we are doing here, the meaning we are making, is not just about what we are looking at, but it's about where we are looking from. And so it's wonderful to have you here from wherever you are, coming together in this moment. So that's it for the first episode of the Sundance Dailies. I want you to go out, have a great day Sundancing, stay safe, stay indie, and come back tomorrow for tomorrow's episode.